goes to react to my Talking Points memo, the former governor of New Mexico, Bill Richardson, the author of the new book, How to Sweet Talk a Shark. So, Governor, let's pretend that I'm the shark. Am I being unfair to the president?
Well, I always think you tell it like it is, Bill. You're an honest guy. But, yeah, there's a little tad unfairness. First, on the IRS issue, heads did roll. On the Benghazi issue, there were demotions, and heads did roll there, too. There was an investigation by Ambassador Pickering that looked at the security problems. There were problems. There were funding problems, too, from the Congress. On the issue of the president and Obamacare, look, Obamacare, I believe, is good for this country. It's good for people. But there has been some serious problems in the rollout.
Let's go over your opening statement. Outside of Lois Lerner, who was paid for about 6 months after she wouldn't testify in front of Congress about what happened. Outside of Lois Lerner, who in the IRS has been held accountable for all of this stuff? Who?
Well, but the president has brought in some new policies,
I'm a simple
Bill.
man. You know I'm a simple man. You watch The Factor.
All right.
Who beside Lois Lerner?
I mean,
who?
You know, I live in New Mexico. I don't
so
follow
you don't know,
all the news,
and I don't
but
know.
it
I
was
live in New
Lois
York.
Lerner.
You live in New Mexico, and we both don't know who beside Lois Lerner. And she was just retired. She's going to get a pension and everything else. All right, now, in Benghazi, there was a meeting the day before, September 10th, all right, 2012, a meeting about security. And Benghazi and Libya came up. What was discussed in that meeting? Who was in there? Do you know?
Well, I do know, Bill, that there was an admission by this Pickering report.
No, but I want to know what's in the meeting. Now we know about the meeting. The president was in the meeting. His top national security guy was in there, Brennan. That's all we know. But we've asked the president to just tell us about that meeting and what was discussed. And you don't know what was in the meeting, and I don't know, right?
Well, no, but I think there are, Bill, some national security standards.
We don't know who in the IRS, beside Lois Lerner, did this, and we don't know what was that meeting. And that was an important meeting because the next day 4 Americans are dead. Now, let's go to Fast and Furious. Attorney General of the United States doesn't know thousands of guns are going from Arizona. You're a border state guy. From Arizona to Mexico, he doesn't know? Is that conceivable to you?
Hey, yes, Bill, I was a cabinet secretary. Yeah. I was a cabinet secretary. I don't know if you recall. No,
I
had
was
some
never
massive security problems.
All right, it's okay.
No,
I'm taking your word. I'm taking your word.
You don't know everything, Bill.
Right.
As a cabinet secretary,
that's not
you don't
everything.
know
That's
everything
a lot of guns.
Happens.
That's thousands of guns. It's a lot of guns. All right. So who was held accountable for that? Who was held accountable for that?
Well, I think that the Attorney General fixed the problem.
But who was held accountable for all the guns that disappeared? Who?
Well, it was a big problem. Okay. There's no question about it.
So we don't know who was held accountable for that. Now let's go to Obamacare. So $1 billion, right. 3.5 years and $1 billion, a lot of money, right? $1 billion. You could use that money in New Mexico, do a lot of good things with that, all right? $1 billion. And it's going to all these companies, all right? And they're getting lots of money, and they're getting paid, and they're working, you know, and then October 1st rolls around, hey, we're going to roll it out, and nothing works. Who should be held accountable for that? Who?
Okay. First, the president had a press conference where he freely admitted the problems.
So should he resign? Should Mr. Obama resign?
Secondly, no, of course not. Of course not. This is a good law, but it's got to be fixed. He's got to have a tiger team.
But why is it broken in the first place? Isn't 3.5 years a lot of time and $1 billion a lot of money to get it going? Isn't it?
They should have gotten their act together. The rollout
Sebelius
should have been handled better.
She's the cabinet person that was in charge. So shouldn't Sebelius resign?
No. But it should be fixed. The objective should be fix it.
Well, what if she doesn't know how to fix it, Governor? It doesn't look like Sebelius knows how to fix it. So maybe she resigns and we get somebody in there who does know.
The White House staff has to send expertise, a tiger team, and fix it rapidly as much. Yeah, a tiger team is in a bureaucracy, Bill. When you have a problem, you send experts, you send massive personnel to get it fixed.
All right.
And it should be held accountable. Some of those contractors, too.
But the boss of the whole operation, Sebelius, she shouldn't be held accountable because she screwed it up. It seems to me that if you come in last place in the National League, you get fired as a manager, all right? If you win 3 games in the National Football League, you get fired. But Kathleen Sebelius is in charge of this rollout. It's a disaster, but she doesn't get fired? I don't understand. I don't get it.
No, but Bill, look, Obamacare, I believe, is good for this country. More people are insured, costs go down. We should focus on that. But yes, they have to fix this rollout problem. They got to fix it. I'm with you on that.
Thank you, Governor. We appreciate you coming on tonight.